What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Jiu-Jitsu Decoded. And today we'll be breaking down the semifinals match between Jalen Fonacier and Thalison Soares. Thalison, in the white gi, pretty much a seasoned veteran at this point, has won everything in the IBJJF circuit. And as for Jalen, I think it's his rookie black belt year, but already as a black belt, he's won the IBJJF PANs and took home second place at the Europeans this year. Off the rip, Jalen with a really fast guard pull. From the guard pull, Jalen actually gets a close guard but then opts to open it up to play open guard. I want to take a couple of moments to just talk about the position that they're currently in, which is this position right here. Now, Jalen is playing an open guard and controlling both of Thalison's sleeves, as you guys can see. And Thalison is wrapping his arms around Jalen's legs and controlling the belt grip with his right hand. And his left arm is pretty much doing the same thing, but his left hand is actually controlling the pants. Now, why this position is so good is because once you pin the heel to the hip, you nullify the leg on the side that you're controlling on the bottom player. And if you want more examples of this, just watch Tainan Dalpa versus Jefferson Guarezi. I personally started using this position and guard passing style a lot more during my recent sparring, and it has helped me a lot. One issue that Thalison runs into in this particular position is the fact that he keeps his elbows flared out. They should be tucked in and closer to his hip, but since they're flared, it's going to cause a little bit of trouble for him. From here, Jalen is able to stretch his legs and pull Thalison's sleeves to where he can create an off balance and throw up two submission attempts. Triangle, armbar, and back to guard. Beautiful. From here, Thalison gets to what I call an open pressure pass position, but bails on it pretty quickly. Now later in the match, you can see Thalison go right back into this open pressure pass position. Once you tripod up like this, you create a lot of pressure on the bottom player, tiring out their legs and getting them more exhausted throughout the match. But honestly, Jalen on bottom does not seem to care at all. Also notice how Thalison is not flat on his feet. He's on his palm of his foot and constantly pressuring towards Jalen, creating a lot of pressure. And for Jalen to not burn out his legs, he'll have to create a lot of space to alleviate the pressure off of him. From this lasso position, Thalison will try to pass the guard by backstepping and grabbing on the back of Jalen's neck, but fails on it. After this, Jalen will control the distance by grabbing Thalison's left pants with his right hand to control the distance between him and Thalison. Thalison sprawls back to break the grip that Jalen has on his pants and starts pressure passing again. Jalen gets into a spider guard right here, but look at how Thalison breaks this grip. He first raises his body up a little bit so he can get Jalen's leg on top of his own, and once the leg is in position, Thalison uses his leg on Jalen's forearm and pulls his arm back to get the grip off. Now, in my humble opinion, I could be wrong about this, but I feel like Jalen got a little bit sloppy with his guard right here, which allowed for Thalison to start a guard pass. Thalison forces Jalen to lay on his left side to where Jalen has to regain his guard, and from there Thalison goes for this beautiful duck under pass. And this is a passing position that's very common to see from Cole Abate. And since Thalison is not able to get Jalen's legs a little bit higher up on his shoulder, Jalen is able to pummel his legs in and regain guard. Here Thalison gets a really nice look at a guard pass. Now notice how Thalison is walking around the legs now, but Jalen still has a connection to his body, but Thalison is peeling it off with his left leg. Here you can see Thalison walking his body higher up on Jalen's right knee, but what you don't see is that Jalen's right knee is actually glued to his elbow, which allows for him to regain his guard. After Jalen is able to regain his guard, he actually throws up this lightning fast triangle. Now what you don't see here is that Thalison has his right knee in between him and Jalen, and he is constantly pushing on Jalen's hips with his hands. As Thalison is still recovering from the escape, Jalen goes for a really nice berimbolo and ends up in the single leg X guard. Jalen is doing a really nice job controlling this position by laying on his right side to keep Thalison's left foot elevated. This stops Thalison from putting his foot on the ground to stand up and start working a guard pass. Now, while controlling the sleeves, Jalen tilts to the other side to try to work up for a sweep. This forces Thalison to get his left leg under him, post on his right hand and pull Jalen's left sleeve up to try to get back to his feet, which he does. But now he ends up in a position where Jalen has an overhook on his right leg and could potentially go for a straight foot lock. I mean, if this was Mikey Musumeci, man, I think it would be game over from here. From here, Jalen does a really nice job of just elevating Thalison over and over again. And this keeps Thalison from being able to find a base to where he can get back to his feet and work a guard pass. I mean, just look at how Jalen constantly goes from having a foot on the hip to having the foot under the thigh. From here, Jalen is able to get a pretty nice elevation on Thalison. He starts by putting his left leg on the ground to shrimp out and then hooking behind Thalison's other leg, forcing Thalison to just post on his hand and his right leg. Jalen then puts his right leg on Thalison's left knee and with the momentum comes up for this really nice single leg, and then they run out of bounds. Bro. Also, how does Jalen not get an advantage for that? In this match alone, I feel like they left out pretty much like 2 or 3 advantages maybe, like the triangle to armbar to the second triangle, and maybe the second triangle was not that deep, but I feel like he should have at least 1 or 2 advantages in this match. But either way, he might not be up on the scorecards, but I think he's up in the judges' eyes, because right now we've seen Jalen go for 4 different types of attempts, while Thalison has done 0 basically, in my opinion. Later on in the match, you can see Jalen go from this lasso position to a really nice berimbolo and back attempt. From here you can see Jalen controlling Thalison's right hand and feeding it to his left hand, and from there getting a pant grip with his right hand. This nullifies Thalison's right hand and gives Jalen a better look at the back if he's able to invert underneath Thalison. But Thalison is no stranger to berimbolos and inversions. I mean, they used to call him Baby Meow back in the days. Since the start of the berimbolo, Thalison actually had an overhook on Jalen's right leg, and now he's trying to go for this footlock. But Jalen is just shaking it off like, nah. Now going for this footlock actually gives Jalen an opportunity to come up to this crab ride to either get the sweep or look for the back. But Thalison, aware of the position, gets back to his knees and up on top again. Now, even though it's not officially on the scoreboard, I would say Jalen is up pretty much 5-0. They reset again back in the middle. Now from here, Jalen goes for this no arm triangle but bails on it pretty quickly, but he readjusts and actually gets a better bite on it this time. I don't know if it's there, but it does seem to be somewhat tight. But Thalison again has his knee in between and pulls on the hip to get out of that submission attempt. And then you can see here for a quick second, Jalen going for a loop choke. I mean, even if the submissions are not there, they do take a toll on you. From here, Jalen inverts on the inside and just tries to get anything he can, any grip he can find to keep Thalison in place. And here, Jalen has a pretty nice grip on Thalison's left leg and tries to come up. And here, Thalison tries to turn into Jalen, peeling his left leg off his hip. From here, Jalen is controlling Thalison's right leg, and now he's pulling Thalison's leg over his own knee to get into this crab ride position right here. Now, as he is pushing away with the crab ride leg, notice how he retracts his left leg to get underneath Thalison's hip and come up for this back take position. Now here, Jalen jumps on the back, but Thalison actually tries to roll out, but look at how Jalen is rolling with him and coming up on top. And Jalen gets awarded an advantage for that attempt and wins the entire match with that. Now in my opinion, he should have gotten at least 1 or 2 more advantages, but hey, it is what it is. He did win the match. And that'll be my breakdown of this semifinals match between Jalen Fonacier versus Thalison Soares. This is Jiu-Jitsu Decoded, and if you like the video, then hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.